face. Then I rolled up, nail covered up, at my face. No fear and no mercy. My blade is bloodthirsty. Babylon, you have to pay for 400 years of slavery. 400 years in the fame of my name. After 400 years, I'm still hungry. My brother and my father institutionalized, and you know it's unjustly. Want me out your country, but I won't be quietly. You can hear my war cry loudly. 7 months up, cleaning out bodies. Dogs, apples, traitors, flamers. No, we don't forget, and no, y'all ain't forgot. You can try to hypnotize me all you want. True religion of being state bloodline. The art war. This time we leaving nothing behind. No, this time leave nothing behind. Revolution won't be televised. Revolution won't be televised. The realest thing I ever wrote, the worst thing that you ever spoke. Let the name Israel be remembered no more. As long as the covenant still exists, I'ma be here. Do you get it? Pigeon rising like the sun come up. 12 hear y'all voice. Though we be few in number, how powerful is the remnant? Remember the courage of Joshua. Fight till it's your last breath. Remember the words of Moshe and be not afraid. Remember y'all's all around you. Keep that smile on your face, stick your chest out and walk tall. Been not the fire or ain't lying. My nieces and nephews stay strong. Remember these words if I'm gone. Let not your hope vanish away. Just get on your knees and pray. Palms up, face down, and they can't do nothing now. When y'all children cry aloud like revolution, revolution. If you come at me with the gas or come at me with the smoke, I say in the name of Yah, guarantee that's all she wrote. I'm wearing black like Phantom. I come at you in the night when you wake up in the morning. All your firstborn smite, I got my banner at the top. I can see the holy mountain. Now the heathen's day is over. No more living in defilement. I got peace and state of mind. I'm the head and not the tail. On the day when y'all is rising, every opposition fails like gold. Revolution won't be televised. Revolution won't be televised.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise to the Creator of the heavens, the earth, the seas, and all that therein is by saying Hallelujah. Once again, I'm Minister Yoel Shiloh Israel, one of the ministers out of the house of Yehuda and formerly out of the house of Israel, right here in Cincinnati, Ohio. And it's a great honor, a great blessing to come before the listening audience in the world in our attempt to bring the true children of Israel, the so-called African black man and woman here in America, back to the oneness of the mighty Yah. So it's a great honor, a great blessing to be in a land of the living where you can give the mighty Yah all the praise, all the glory, and all the honor that is truly due unto his holy divine name. And today I have a message for the black man today. So call all your ministers, call your imams, your so-called reverends, so-called bishops, mores, rabbis. And we have a message for you all today, all y'all's people. And this is the message for the black man. And interesting enough, it happened to be 4th of July today, Independence Day. But the ironic thing about that, black man, black woman, you have no independence. You're not free. You're not liberated. And if you think so, from what? Call in. I want you all to call in today and straighten me out at area code 513-696-2368. 2836 rather. That's 513-696-2863. Call in, straighten me out. But you have no independence, Negroes. None at all. And every day, every week pass by, every month, you're going to see more and more that you have no independence. You still the last hard, the first fire. You still the borrowers and not the lenders. You still the landless and not the landowners. You still in a land of your oppression, a land of your affliction. Exactly what the Creator said in the book of Bereshit, in chapter 15 of Genesis, the 13th and 14th verse, what he said unto Abram, know of a surety, know of a certainty, that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and they shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve, the Maya said, will I judge. And afterward shall they come out with great substance. And as I speak today, the nations is being judged by the mighty Yah. Now we can credit the virus for something man-made in a lab, something that came from China, or something that the United States took over to China. We can say that it's from radioactive waves from 5G. But this is what I say. This is what my minister YisraEL says. To go to the book of Amos, the 3rd chapter, because I have to let the Negro know this. Amos, the 3rd chapter, the children of Israel. And we're going to read what it says in Amos, the 3rd chapter. Amos, the 3rd chapter, the 6th verse, it says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city of Chicago, New York, Philadelphia, Cincinnati, and the people not be afraid? And this trumpet is being blown all over the earth, regardless where you're living at. Argentina, China, Japan, you name it. You name it. It says, shall there be evil in a city, and Yahweh have not done it? So there cannot be any evil, and the Creator has not allowed it to take place. And yes, He has allowed all this evil to take place. He is the one that created the knowledge of the tree of good and evil. He is the one that created Satan himself to be an adversary against Israel. So yes, y'all want the world to know, all of Israel to know, he takes credit. He takes credit because he said he's a jealous Elohim, and he will not give his glory unto Satan, unto Trump, unto anyone. Neither his praises to any graven images, any idols that you want to wear around your neck, any idols that you want to stand and make the pledges of allegiance to, any idols that you want to travel thousands of miles to Mecca and walk around a rock, any idols at all. He don't give his glory, and especially do not give his glory to no man, to no creatures at all. But today have to be what they call the 4th of July. And this message is definitely to you, black man. And I remember the king's so-called dream speech. And I'm just going to paraphrase certain things that he said. He said something to the effect that I declare these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and endowed with certain inevitable rights. And among these rights is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. He said, I see black boys and white girls walking down the streets of Alabama, holding hands together. I have a dream. One day this nation will rise above the racism, rise above this and that, and that a man won't be judged by the color of his skin, but rather by the content of his heart. I have a dream. And surely the dream that he was having was a nightmare. It was America's worst nightmare for the Negro, for the black man. And today's topic is, we're going to straighten out Islam and Christianity. We're going to straighten out both of those two religions and show you, Mrs. and Mrs. Negro, that those two religions have destroyed you, destroyed your mind, destroyed your perspective on how you see things in life, totally destroyed the black man and woman. But first, we're dealing with this, we're dealing with King's dream speech. And this is what he says. This is what Yah said. But we go to the book of Jeremiah, the 23rd chapter. We go to Jeremiah, the 23rd chapter. So those of you all that have your so-called Biblios, read your Septuagints, your 1611s, or your KJV, or whatever book you got, turn, follow along. And I'm one of those ministers that you can question me live on that while I'm teaching. Supposed to have one Muslim brother and one Christian brother call in during this week because I did a live program. And they was saying this, I was wrong. They were saying that, I was wrong. So as I occasionally do, I open up the floor for anyone to disagree with what I teach to call in and rebut what I teach. Anything that I teach. Let me say it again. Anything that I teach. But of course, they was all talk and no bite. Like a lot of the ministers and brothers is. On Facebook, they all talk and no bite. But I invite them in live to speak before the world, before the public, and straighten me out. Any minister, regardless of his religious ideology and philosophy, or to correct me on something that I'm reading that is not there or is wrong. Any minister in the world. But let's go to the book of Jeremiah, the 23rd chapter. Jeremiah chapter 23. And we're going to start reading in the 23rd chapter of Jeremiah, the 21st verse. Here it says, now we're gonna start at Jeremiah 23. Yeah, let me start at 21st verse of Jeremiah. And this is what he says. In Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 21, it said, I have not sent these prophets, yet they ran. I have not spoken to them, yet they prophesied. Now, who is these prophets that's running? They're saying things that Yah ain't said, saying things that he never said. Running to the book called the New Testament, and the Father don't even speak one mumbling word in the New Testament. Running to the book called the Quran, and the Father don't speak one mumbling word in the Quran. Allah don't even speak in the Quran. That's not even the name of the Most High. Period. And his name definitely not Jesus. So they started off wrong to begin with. They're running, prophesying, speaking in who they think speaking in the name of the Most High. They speaking in the name of men. Because those are books of men. Both of them. And you got prophets today running all over Facebook. They all over YouTube. They all in Southern Baptist and New Hope and Seventh-day Adventists in the Pentecostal churches every Sunday. And y'all said, I ain't sent none of these men. And then you got women prophetess. Talking about the Creator called them to teach. And they teaching the people what Paul said to the Romans. They teaching the people what Paul said to the Ephesians, what Paul said to the Galatians. I said, man, I thought you said Yah sent you. I thought he endowed with you with the spirit to teach his word. And lo and behold, you taking me to a letter and an epistle of what Paul said. Letters and epistles are not scriptures, folks. Can't even be weighed in the same balance with holy writings, with scrolls of the so-called Old Testament. But this is what happens. Young men, they think they qualified to teach the word of Yah. They in zeal. They run them because they zealous. But while they running like with a bag. They got holes in it. Can't hold nothing. And anytime you running, trying to represent Yah with the New Testament, you only doomed to fail. Anytime you running with the book called the Quran, trying to wake Israel up, you only doomed to fail. And the critic said, but if they have stood in my counsel, if they have stood in the counsel of Yah, if they have listened to Psalms 1, what said, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the ways of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful, but his delight is in the law of Yah. And in his law does he meditate day and night, and he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of waters, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he does shall prosper. But the ungodly are not so. They don't, ungodly ain't concerned about the word of Yah. They worry about what Paul said. They worry about what Muhammad said. So the ungodly are not so. They are like the shaft with the wind, drive away. Therefore, the ungodly shall not even stand in the day of judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. What sinners want to be in the congregation of the righteous for? They concerned about worshiping Christ. They thinking about doing things in the name of Christ. They thinking about building churches in Christ's name. And even the Christ in the New Testament said they practice iniquity. He said they don't even know me. They don't even know me. But they're not familiar with Psalms 1. And my y'all said if they have stood in that council, if their minds would have been meditating on my law, if their hearts and minds would have been stayed on my law, you wouldn't have all the gun violence in Chicago. You wouldn't have all the household just ran by the black female trying to hold it down. Because the black man is not there in a lot of instances. If they have just kept Yah's law, you wouldn't have the children being gunned down in the streets by the police if they just kept Yah's law. You wouldn't even came over here on a slave ship, Jesus, if they just kept Yah's law. You wouldn't even be serving these other gods if you just keep Yah's law. You wouldn't be going to church on the first day of the week called Sunday if you just keep Yah's law. They ain't stood in the council of the Most High. He said they should have turned to him, because if you had stood under the counsel of Elisha Israel, of Tyree Israel, of Tobiah Israel, of Daniel Israel, of Zechariah Israel, of Ishiah Israel, of Elkanah Israel, of my elder from New York, Zipporah Israel, my brother Benjamin from New York stood in that council, you would have known better. You would have stood in brothers Prince Care's council, you would have known better. But they ain't stood in the council of Yah. These Christian pork chop eating brothers and sisters, these Muslim pork chop and gravy eating people, they ain't stood in the council of Yah. Then they should have turned Israel, the black man and woman in America, from their evil way and from the evil of their doing. Put a padlock on them churches, lock them, close them down. But they ain't turned Israel from their evil way. He said, am I Elohim at hand, saith Yah, and not an Elohim afar off? Can any hide himself in secret places that I should not see him, saith the mighty Yah? Do not I feel heaven and earth, saith Yah? So you can't hide from the Most High. You can't run. There is no land that you can run to try to escape your oppression. I don't care if you're going to Ghana, any parts of West Africa, Damona, you can't escape the wrath of Yah. Only thing you doing is going from one oppressive state to another oppressive state. And the Christian said, I heard what the prophet said. The prophets are lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed. I have a dream. The Christian said, I heard what he said. And then what the man Yah said, he said, how long should this be? In the heart of the prophets are lies, saying Yah sent them. And Yah ain't sent these men. He ain't sent these women. He said they are prophets of the deceit of their own heart, talking about God speak to them. The Most High speak. Oh, he's speaking to everybody now. Oh, that's how it is, because you got a Bible, he's speaking to you now. Yeah, he deal with me like that, brother Joel. Oh, he do? What did he tell you? He told me to go feed his sheep. He did? He told you to go feed his sheep? Yeah, he told me to and teach him told him what Paul said to the Romans. Or he told you to go tell him what Paul said to the Romans. Well, can you show me that? Can you show me one verse, one scripture? Now, I can't show you, but I believe it, my brother. And so you just don't believe because you need the Spirit to believe. Oh, I'm the one that needs the Spirit to believe. Okay. And the grace said, how long should be in the heart of these prophets? And when you're dealing with prophets of Yah, you're dealing with men that were Israelites, not Ishmaelites. My Muslim brother, I didn't raise up no Muslim prophet called Muhammad, or no Muslim prophet called Master Farad Muhammad, or no Muslim prophet called Farrakhan. He ain't raised up no Muslim prophets. He ain't raised up no Edomite prophets. All the prophets come from the lineage of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, and from one of the 12 tribes of Israel. all the kings come from Israel. And the Kohanes, the priests, they ought to be Israel. We can't have a stranger ruling over us. Can't have no Europeans ruling over us in our own land or in this land. But you all run and vote for Trump. You run and vote for Biden. You ran and voted for Obama. You thought he was an Israelite. And lo and behold, no, he was not an Israelite by birth. And you put men on you because you don't want Yah to rule over you. So you don't want Yah. And he's just. He judges with just balances, just weights. He's merciful. But you don't want the king to rule over you. You always wanted a man. You always wanted to be like the other nations, to learn the ways of the heathen. And what you do the other night, I barely got some sleep. Firecrackers popping all night. Boom, 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 bang, bang, boom. That was gunshots going off. But of course, as I said, you had no independence because you were chattel property. You were still slaves. Black man and woman, you were still slaves. And right here in verse 27, Yah said, which think to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams, which they tell every man to his neighbor, as their fathers have forgot my name for Baal. Yes, they're like the fathers forgetting the name of the mighty Yah for Christ. They've forgotten the name of the mighty Yah for Allah, even unto this very day. And the Creator said, the prophet that have a dream, let him tell that dream. But he that have my word, let him speak my word faithfully. And this what I do every Shabbat. I don't add to the word of Yah. I don't diminish from the word of Yah, because the Creator said his law is perfect. Convert the soul. There's no need for me to add to it. All you have to do is leave the word of Yah alone. But of course, Israel, they want to add, they want to subtract, they want to lean into their own understanding. They want to add their own precepts to the book. And then Yah said, the book is already complete. My law is already perfect. It cannot be made better by any man. And the Creator said, is not my word like a fire, saith Yah, and like a hammer that breaketh the rocks in pieces? Yes, it is. The Creator word is like fire, and it will light you up if you're doing wrong, if you're in violation of it, regardless who you are. Teacher, student, prophet. The Creator word will light you up through the mouth of his servants. And then Yah said in verse 31 of Jeremiah, the 23rd chapter, he said, behold, I am against the prophet, said Yah, that use their tongue and say, he saith. And that's what they do today. They go to church and they turn to 1 Corinthians and they say, God say it. And God say, a minute, I'm looking. Where did God say that at? God don't even speak to Corinthians. Then let's turn to Romans. And God say it. Wait a minute. Who's that talking? That's Paul. You talking about God say, oh, Paul is now God. Paul is now the Most High. He's now El Shaddai. He's Elohim. Oh, okay. So not only do you worship Christ, but you worship Paul. So I understand why Paul has more books in the New Testament than anyone. I understand that most of the books is credited to Paul. And the people are even listening to Paul more than they even do their own Savior, who they claim to worship. Paul, he is the one that the Catholic Church based their doctrine off of, the Pauline doctrine. And that you Gentiles, black man, in order for you to get salvation, you definitely better accept the fact that you a Gentile, because that's who Paul was sent to, the Gentiles. Now, on the other hand, in Christ's New Testament, Yahushua, Yeshua, he told the disciples, don't go to the Gentiles. No, to any of the cities of Samaria, he said, don't even enter. He told all his disciples, and Paul was not one of them. He said, go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But Paul said, no, I'm going to the Gentiles. And then my Israelite brother would say, well, stop, brother. See, you're wrong. Your teacher wrong, because the Gentiles that Paul went to were Israelites. And I said, oh, were they really? Then if they were Israelites, and I want any minister in the world to call in, 513-696-2836. They call in and answer me this question, because I've been asking it for almost 30 years now. If Paul was sent to Gentiles that were really Israelites, then why did he tell Israelites not to be circumcised? Because if these Israelites got circumcised according to the book of Galatians, the 5th chapter, they was a debtor to keep the old, what they call the law of Torah. All the law, if they got circumcised in the flesh. And Paul was sent to those of the uncircumcision, because you don't have to be a Christian in order to be circumcised as a male. You don't have to be circumcised. If you're a Christian black male, you don't have to get circumcised. Because Paul said it profits you nothing. Matter of fact, if you get circumcised, the Christ of the New Testament don't even profit you. He's not even in your life. But if you do get circumcised, you got to keep the same law that Moses kept. You got to keep the same law that David didn't have to keep. Not Noah, but David, Solomon, Isaiah. All the Israelites had to keep. You have to keep that same law. So when our people looked at that, because they was told early in church that nobody could keep all those commandments and laws, those laws was nailed to the cross by the blood of Yahushua. Nobody can keep all those 613 laws. And I said, oh, it's 613. Who told you that? Did the rabbis tell you that? The people that y'all don't even deal with? The Ashkenazis? Did they tell you that? That's where you got that from? The Jewish man? And you believe them? Because anytime they came across another law, they counted that as a separate law. They would read the same thing in Deuteronomy that's mentioned in the book of Leviticus, the same law, and they would count that as another law. And that's how they did they number it. When they're talking about the 613 laws, commandments, folks. So you got to know your history. Most of y'all, you don't even study out of the Bible. You don't study other history, other literature. So, as the Creator said, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And he said, because you have rejected knowledge, I'm going to reject you. You're going to get up in front of people, you're going to look like a fool. You're going to look crazy because you don't study. You don't study other manuscripts, other writings. You one book, a lot of you always, you one bookers, you King James Bible only. You one bookers. And some of you two bookers. You Old and New Testament, you a two booker. I gotta say it like you two booker. Our people only have the Old Testament. The disciples only have the Old Testament. Muhammad only have what they call the Torah and the prophets, the Old Testament. Y'all two bookers today. Don't have nothing in common with our forefathers. Most of them would look at you and lie. They were lying. But in this chapter, Jeremiah 23rd chapter, he said, I'm gonna go backtrack to verse number 22. He said, but if they have stood in my counsel and caused my people. Now, who was y'all's people? Once again, his people is Israel, the one that he called his servant, the one that he called his witness, the one that he called his elect, the one that he called his battle axe and weapons of war, the one that he called his world without end, the one that he called his Jews, the one that he called his wife. Israel. Now, brothers and sisters, they still trying to do battle against one of the servants of Yah, trying to prove with all their strength and might and try to show me one, not three, not two. I just asked for one scripture. I didn't think that was hard, y'all. And I offer any man living, any woman living, any child living. Because I'm sure you need money. You don't spend all your money on these fireworks. And I offer you a $1,000. You could call in now while I'm live on air. Let me repeat it again. Call in now. This ain't no 1999. This ain't no 2-for-1 deal. Call in now. 513-696-2836 and show me one scripture where the Father called the Christ of the New Testament his servant, his witness, his wife, his battle axe and weapons of war, his Jews, his world without end, the dearly beloved of his soul. Just one place. And you get $1,000. And a lot of y'all, I just I'm in debt. I'll be indebted. So call in. Yo, come on now, phone line is open. It is open. But it cannot be done. Absolutely cannot be done. Period. And we're the only people that don't have a land of our own. Oh, we got a land, but strangers are occupying it. It's being devoured. We the only people in the world whose name was taken from them, cut off from our parts. The only people that speak in another man's language. If you didn't know it, Mr. and Mrs. Black Man popping firecrackers, it's not your language. Your language is the creation of the heavens, which was the Hebrew, the Paleo, the creation of the heavens. You're not a Muslim, you're not a Christian. Those are slave religions. That if you didn't convert to them, you had your heads cut off. You was crucified. So we are the people of the book, as the Quran says, the children of Israel. We the ones that the angel told the Prophet Muhammad to go to if he had doubt into anything that he was reading. He didn't understand what he was reading. Then go to them that have the book before them, speaking about the book of, what they call the book of Moses. So now we understand it. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter. Let's see if all men was created equal. And I said, this is not hate speech. This scripture. So anyone claim that I'm teaching hate, then throw your Bibles away. Throw them away. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter, because I don't speak of my own mind, my own opinion. Go to Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter. We're going to see what this says in Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter. We're going to start in verse number 6. It says, for thou art a holy people unto Yah. Who's the holy people? Who is he speaking about? He's not speaking about the Koreans and Japanese and Chinese and Egyptians and the Assyrians and the Arabs. He's not speaking about them. He's speaking to you, black man and woman. You was created to be a holy people unto Yah, a set apart people unto the Most High. Now, what holy means? Somebody that's set apart. Set apart. Somebody that's sanctified. So you could say you holy and sanctified all you want to, with pig guts and chitlins in your system, but you holy and sanctified, speaking in tongues. Okay, but the Creator said He got a holy people. He said, "For thou art a holy people unto Yah, thy Elohim, and Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahuwah, He hath chosen you to be a special people unto Himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth." Now, many people will read this and they won't like what they read. They say, well, I think that ain't right. I think that's racist. I don't agree with that. Well, your issue is not with me. Your issue was the Most High. And then for you all that believe in the Christ of the New Testament, let me show you what He said. Let me show you what He said in the book of, I believe it's in the book of Matthew, the 15th chapter. I believe. I don't know, but I believe. The difference between believing and knowing. I believe. So let's go to Matthew, the 15th chapter. Let's hold Deuteronomy 7. Let's see. Let's see if it is. If it is. If it's not, I'll just paraphrase it because I know it by heart. I know it by heart. Let's see. Let's go to Matthew, the 15th chapter. And let me quote it to y'all. Let me quote it to y'all. And the leaders, the teachers, they all know what I'm speaking of. It was a woman, it was a Canaanite woman that came to Christ. And she said, Lord, she was sick. She was sick. Well, anyway, in her sickness, she asked for some bread from the Christ of the New Testament to eat. And you know what He said? You know what He said? He said, it's not meant for me, because I'm an Israelite, to take the children's bread, and He was speaking about the children of Israel bread, and to give it to dogs, and to cast it to dogs. I said, wow, He's supposed to be the Savior, the God that loves everybody. And Lord, behold, He said, it's not meant to take the children of Israel bread and cast it to dogs. And she said, oh, Lord, she said, that's true. She acknowledged the fact that she was a dog. And she said, but yet, Lord, the dogs do eat of the crumbs that fall from the master's table. Recognize the fact that the Israelites, we are the masters of the earth. We're supposed to be the leaders of the so-called free world, bringing the nations back to the Most High Yah. And when you bring the nations back to the mighty Yah, and it is in Matthew the 15th chapter, lo and behold, my memory serves me correct. See, that's when you meditate in the law of Yah. And when you just meditating, period, when you study it, things might get away from you for a minute, but it'll come back. Yes, it is in Matthew the 15th chapter. Matthew the 15th chapter, the 22nd verse. And it says, and behold, a woman of Canaan came out the same coast and cried unto him, saying, have mercy upon me, Lord, thou son of David. Now, how are you going to be the son of David and the son of God? How are you going to be the son of David and the son of the mighty Yah? That's a contradiction. You all want to talk about he's the son of God. He's the son of Yahuwah. But then the book says he's the son of David. The book of Matthew, the first chapter, said he came out of the lineage supposed to be of David. But when you read it, he didn't come out of the lineage of David. He's the immaculate deception. Mary she was pregnated by the Holy Ghost, not by Joseph. They ain't even came together yet, and she was found with child. But this is what happens when people put things in a book that's not there, and none of them will dare go in. I've been on air for quite a while now on Truth or Tradition, and I have had not one minister in the world. I have brothers that I dialogue with, New Testament brothers, but I had not had yet one minister in the world to call in and refute what I'm saying while I'm live. And I said, I will allow them to speak and prove to the world that Christ is the Son of Yah, that he's not an immaculate deception. I will have them read Matthew the first chapter and teach it and show you that he's from the lineage of David. I'll have them do that. They can take at least 15 minutes to break that chapter down and show the world that he's not they're gonna need to show one or two things, that he's not the son of Yah or he's not the son of David, because he can't be both. In the book of Matthew, the first chapter, let the world know that he supposedly be the son of Yah through the immaculate conception, the so-called virgin's birth. But nevertheless, here in Matthew the 15th chapter, the 22nd verse, she said, 23rd verse said, but he answered her and he paid her no attention. Paid her not a word. She's hungry, wants something to eat, and that's how we supposed to be humanely. And y'all talking about we supposed to learn from his example, and he ain't even paying nobody attention to asking him for the simple things of life, necessities of life, food and water. And he ain't paying this woman no attention. Y'all said if your enemy be hungry, give him food to eat. And if they be thirsty, give them water to drink. This man that you living amongst today, he charge you for water. He cut your water off if you don't pay that bill. Does that sound like somebody that's humane? No. He throw all this food away from his bakery that he don't sell, instead of taking it to the poor, giving it to the poor. Giving it up to say, here, y'all take this to the poor, give it away to the poor. No, we throwing this stuff away. We throwing all this bread away, all this stuff away that we could give out to the poor. No, what we're gonna do, we're gonna throw it away, we're gonna write it off of our taxes. We're gonna get credited for this. Why don't y'all just take it out and feed the poor? Huh? But this type of man you live amongst. And he said, verse 23, he answered her not a word, and the disciples came and besought him, saying, send her away, for she cried after us, because you told us, Yahweh Shah, to only go to Israelites. What is this Canaanite doing crying after us? You ain't sent us to go to no Canaanites, to no Europeans, to no Gentiles. That's Paul's job. That's Paul's commission. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of Israel. I ain't told my disciples to go to Southern Baptist and New Hope Church. I ain't tell any of my pastors or preachers to preach my gospel in the Pentecostal churches. If you're a disciple of mine, you only go to the Negroes, the African American people that lost their identity, lost their land, their language, their culture, because I'm an Israelite. I'm not a Christian. So you only go to Israelites. Then came she and worshiped him, saying, Lord, help me. But he answered and said, it is not meet to take the children of Israel bread. Because we're talking about the children's bread and cast it to dogs. And this is what y'all saying is more merciful than the Most High, than the Creator? The Creator had a Hittite warrior fight for him. The Creator had a woman that was a Moabite. The woman that said, your people are going to be my people, and your God going to be my God. I'm going to serve your God. And Israel says, come on in. If y'all want to serve the God of Israel, come on in. I'm not the judge of the earth. Who the hell is YisraEL to tell another person of a nationality you can't serve Yah? Who the hell do I think I am? But let me ask you, who the hell do y'all think y'all are? To tell other people they can't serve Yah. To tell John Brown, an abolitionist, a white European, that he can't serve Yah. To tell Ruth that she couldn't serve Yah. Y'all back then, the Most High will consume you. The Creator said, I'll show mercy to whom I will show mercy to. The Most High said, I'll bless them who I will bless. They will come in, your black snake and wretched tail, you be outside of the gate. Gonna stand in the seat of the mighty Yah, and you wanna say who can come in and who can't. Noah was not an Israelite. Was Enoch an Israelite? No. Was Abraham an Israelite? No. Was Melchizedek an Israelite? No. Absolutely not. So who we think he is? Righteousness is not. Gotta understand this. Righteousness is not just in a bottle for one group of people, one nation. Anyone can be righteous if they got the heart to be, if they got the will to be. They can be righteous before the Most High Yah. They got to want to be. They got a desire to be, like Abraham, like Noah, like Enoch. If you desire to be, you want to keep the commandments and laws of Yah as a Gentile, do it. Do it. You want to stop being a heathen? Turn back to the Old Testament, keep them laws. Because there is no other way. No way at all. But I want to bring this out now. When we turn back to Deuteronomy 6th chapter. He said, verse 6, for thou art a holy people unto Yah. And Yah have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. He said, Yah did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in number than any people. For you were the fewest of all people. But because the mighty Yah loved you, and because he would keep the oath that he swore unto your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He don't break his covenant. We the covenant breakers. We are, but Yah no. He keep his word. So all men were created equal. We was created above all the nations upon the face of the earth. And to establish another witness of this, go to the book of Exodus chapter 19. Exodus the 19th chapter. Exodus the 19th chapter, the 5th verse. And we're going to start the first verse to let you know who he's speaking about. He said, in the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of slavery, out of the land of bondage, out of the land of Egypt, the same day they came into the wilderness. Then we go down, we see what he told the children of Israel, the so-called black man and the woman. Because you wandered in the wilderness today. Look what he said in verse number 5. He said, now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people. For all the earth is mine, saith Yah. So what makes us peculiar, what makes us different, what makes us special and unique is the Torah law. Not the New Testament, not the Quran. You won't come out after studying those books and adhering to the dictations of those books. You won't come out special. You won't come out set apart. You will not come out holy, and you will not come out uniquely different than all of the people upon the face of the earth. If you worship in Christ, that don't make you special. That make you like most of the people of the earth that worship a tri-God, that worship one of the 16 crucified saviors. You know, different than your enemies. Worshiping a half man, half God, born of a so-called virgin birth. Why does that make you peculiar? They did that in ancient Kemet. They did that in the Oriental systems long before Christ with Krishna. In Hinduism and Buddhism, they've been doing that. Saviors that came and redeemed their people from their sins. That's no new concept. That's an old concept. It's an African concept, Oriental concept. It's not a new concept, folks. And the creator said, the thing that makes you peculiar, different, is you obey my voice. Now, how we expect to obey y'all voice? And we're going by books that take us away from obeying y'all's voice. How do we expect to obey y'all's voice and we don't even keep his dietary law? How are we going to respect y'all and be peculiar and keep his covenant when we can't get past the first commandment, the first law of Exodus 20th chapter? Can't get past that. And we're going to be supposed to be peculiar people? Different? No. You just like everybody else, popping firecrackers, worshiping Christ, keeping Sunday worship, and doing what you want to do. And then the creator said, let's go to the book of Deuteronomy 28 chapter. Deuteronomy chapter 28. This is what the mighty Yah said. In Deuteronomy the 28th chapter, we're going to go to, in Deuteronomy the 28th chapter, we're going to read Deuteronomy chapter 28. We're going to read let's read verse number 60. It said, moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave to thee. Moreover, also every sickness and every plague which is not written in this book of this law. Now look at this. So is everything written in the Bible? No. Is everything written in the book of the law? No. Everything is not. So many of y'all say, you can't go outside the Bible. You can't go out. You got to stay within the confines from Genesis to Malachi. Oh, we do? Well, where's the book of Yisrael at? You do? Where's the book of Jubilees at? Where's the book of Gad the prophet at? Huh? You can't go outside. Where's the Apocrypha at? You can't go outside the Bible. Okay. And the creator said the things, a lot of the plagues, curses, they ain't even written in the book of the law. But you're going to experience them. You're gonna see them. There's a lot of books that's not in the Bible, Old and New Testament. I told my brother, you got a book of the Gospel of Thomas. Mary Magdalene talked about how Christ, and he was a married man. But they left it out of the canon because they're right with what the church wanted to be put out. They didn't want him to look like a natural, normal man. So they left books out about him having a family and a wife and about a twin brother, looked just like him, called Didymus Thomas, his twin brother. So they didn't want y'all to know that the God that you worship today had a twin brother. Ain't that son? The Son of God. The only begotten Son of the Most High had a twin brother. It's pitiful. But it's what happened when your mind and your brain is locked in. The books ain't even in order. And when you all trying to challenge me on prophecy, don't know nothing about prophecy. Don't even know that the books are not in chronological order in the so-called Bible. But this is what you have, and the mighty Yah said, every sickness and every plague, which is not written in this book of the law, them will Yah bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. Until you be destroyed. And we all being destroyed this very day. He said, and ye shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as stars of heaven. For multitude, that's what they call you, the minority. But although you're supposed to be the so-called minority, out here popping firecrackers and eating pig feet, you're the highest prison population. You're the highest of the prison population, Negro. But you're the minority. You're the minority. And he said in verse 63, and it shall come to pass that as Yah rejoice over you to do you good and to multiply you, so Yah will rejoice over you to destroy you. Look at this. To bring you to naught. And ye shall be plucked from off the land where thou goest to possess it. And yes, we've been plucked off that land. We're not in the land of Canaan. We're not in Jerusalem. You've been plucked off. You way, way far from your homeland. You in the land of the north. You the land of your enemy, not the land of your friends. And y'all shall scatter thee amongst all people. He gonna scatter you to Canada. He gonna scatter you to England. He gonna scatter you to parts of China. Yes, you're gonna be even in Japan and living in black man living in Argentina, living in Australia, speaking another man's language, being raised up to these bastard languages. You spread it to the four corners of the earth and saying, Yah shall scatter thee amongst all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and thou shalt serve these other nations gods. Neither would thou now fathers have known gods of wood and stone. So wherever our people were scattered, they scattered down in Haiti. They in Haiti, and one of the breaking grounds where they took the slaves and they got broken. You got to start practicing voodoo because voodoo is a religion in Haiti. They practice it religiously. You're gonna be practicing voodoo. You go to Haiti, you go over here. You're gonna be worshiping this god. You're gonna be practicing this African spiritual concept. Gods of the water, gods of the oceans, gods of the apple tree. You're gonna be practicing all types of so-called African spiritual concepts. You're gonna be having no black mask, African mask on your wall. Don't paint of these African masks on your walls. Don't even know the origin of them. But you Negro, you got them all in your house on the wall. These black masks. Where you get that from? Oh, I got that from a little secondhand store. Oh, what is it? I don't know. That is, it's an African mask. We African people. So I want to identify with Africa. Well, you can't identify with everything in Africa. The created it. You're supposed to be a peculiar people. Israel. You don't identify and want to grab everything of the other nations. You want to identify with your own culture. Identify with this, with the Menusa. Identify what King Solomon had. Lions that went down his thrones. Identify something that's relevant to our people. But we want to identify to everything that we can't even prove in the book. A star, a shield of David, star of David. Where you can find a star of David, a shield of David in the scriptures? Who walk around with a shield, a star of David? And that's my protection. A star of David, a 6-point star, a hexagram. You won't read nothing about no hexagram in the Torah. Period. Now somebody got information about the star or the shield. Because some don't call it shield, they call it the shield of David. They don't call it the star. Well, show me this 6-point hexagram. Anywhere in the Old Testament. Anywhere. There's a priest war on a symbol. And I know why you're wearing it, because you want to identify, you want the world to know that you are a Jew. Because it's not the Jews' word. That's their symbol on their flag. So you want a word to identify and let your people know, that you a Jew. And they see it. The Negro, the ones that don't know, when they see it, they do ask, what you doing with that on? And that's the Jewish symbol. They call it the Jewish symbol. Say, yeah, no. Then you explain to them, no, this is, because I wore it in years past. I wore the Star of David, what I call the Star of David. Because it like proclaimed to the earth that I'm Israel. But y'all said, no, son. If you want to proclaim to the earth that you Israel, first of all, you got to take that off your neck. And you got to walk with me. And I'll show you how you proclaim to the world that you Israel. You keep my laws. You keep my commandments. That's how you proclaim to the world that you Israel. You become totally peculiar. You become holistic in all your aspects of living. What you eat, what you drink, the language you speak. So I had to tell me, man, other people, you got to slow down on some of your language, brother. Because you a minister, you teach. So I had to humble myself. Yeah, I got to watch some of the things that I say. Because I get the spirit get on me. I got, So, but I have to tone that down. Some people watch. And we're supposed to be the examples for the world. And belly, when you're a minister, you got to carry yourself in a belly in a most high and dignified way as possible. But of course, you're gonna have faults. Like I got faults, and all your ministers got faults. Because none of us is without fault or without. I speak for myself. I'm not without sin at all. I make mistakes. make mistakes. But this is a journey in life where all of us don't grow at the same pace, the same level. So even when we teach and we got to show each other mercy. Mercy it should be there. Because I was once a Christian. I once studied Islam, studied the Quran. Didn't become a Muslim, but I almost was there. I almost was there. So that's how I know what's in the Quran. And I was told by the Quran, was blessed to come on a teacher that taught me the Quran and told the New Testament what was in that book. So my cup was just been running over ever since 1988 when I first came into the knowledge as a young man and been walking with y'all when I seen brothers and sisters fall off the cliffs every year. Some people just bring you into the knowledge. They got their purpose just to bring you into it, and you don't see them no more. You don't see them no more at all. They have their purpose. They have their purpose. Everybody got a purpose. And right here, the mighty Yah said in Deuteronomy 28th chapter, the 65th verse, he said, amongst these nations shall thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. For Yah shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. And that's what happens when you grow in knowledge. With much wisdom, you get much grief. He that increaseth in knowledge, increase in sorrow. So I understood why some of the Israelites were saying, what y'all gonna do? What we gonna do? We gotta get out there too and march and vote and protest. We just sitting back, we ain't doing nothing. And I know because of the frustration, when you seen the white cop knee on the black man's neck, he said, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. And he let the white man just got his knee on his neck like a dog. I mean, the knee is on the neck like a dog. He's looking like, what y'all Ian's gonna do? Y'all better not move. Y'all good boys and girls, you stay put. You better not make a move. And he just looked at y'all and stared y'all in the eye while y'all was looking at y'all brother on the street pavement dying. Now, had that been your father, would you stood back? Had that been your mother, would you stood back and watch? The reason why you stood back and watched while you busting out windows in stores and doing this now, setting on fire, why when y'all fighting then? But you stood back and watched. 4 cops, and you got 100 people around just watching. Because you're scared. Because you remember, you know why you were scared? Because you in your subconsciousness, you remember that rope. You remember that rope. That, as I speak, 4 and 5 black men have been hung in different parts of the United States recently. You remember those chains that your ancestor was tied to, just to hear the rattling of the chain, the rattling of the police when he's walking his handcuffs, remind you of the chains. So you said, I ain't moving nowhere. I'm standing right here. I ain't about to get my brains blown out for my brother. I ain't about to risk my life for no brother. But you know the Jewish man, what he does? All he got to get, one of them got to get hit with is one rock by a Palestinian, and his war is on. The bomb's going to drop. You hit my people, I'm going to hit your people. The bombs drop, but they don't take that. But the ones that do take it, I got to admit, the ones that do take it is Israel. It's the black Negro in America. Now, I ain't ready that y'all get out here and start doing nothing. But at the time of things happen, you got to know when to move. You got to know when to put in work. Don't want to put in work after the fact, after the damage is already done. Could have intervened then. You could have intervened then. When y'all standing back, all did you did took out your phone and took pictures of him dying. But it is what it is. And the Creator said in verse 66, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and thou shalt have no assurance of your life. And you don't have no assurance of your life in this land. Since you've been in this land, black man, no assurance of your life. You go to the grocery store, you shop, you buy some lettuce, take it home and eat it, you're dead. Salmonella poisoning, E. coli bacteria. That's how it is. You drink a bottle of water, somebody done poked it with a needle or something, because you didn't check to see if you got a leak in it. Because you got crazy nuts out here and you're dead. Just drinking the water. You drink the water in Detroit years ago, because maybe even still now. It was known to be contaminated by your own government. So how wicked this government is to pollute the water system in Detroit. And if you spoke out about it back then when it happened, you ended up surprisingly dead. You ended up dead. This man has always put things in the black community's water system and the foods that you eat. It's always been biological warfare, chemical warfare on you, Negro. And they keep looking and say, they just keep breeding. The more that we kill them, the more they keep multiplying and growing. Because y'all blessed us. He blessed us. And the more they take the jobs away, the more we girls are gonna be looking at each other. Wife look at the husband look at their wife. And they ain't working. They in the house all day, every day. What do you think they're gonna be doing? They're gonna be breeding. They're gonna be multiplying. Let's get it on, baby. It's love time, baby. Love make time. Love time. Let's get it on. Gotta do something. TV off, electric powers off. And what we gonna do? Can't go out, curfew in. Gotta be in a certain time. What we gonna do? Can't go out to the malls and shop. Stores closed down. Man, I'm bored. Well, we could play a game together. Yeah. And game to produce another Jeremiah, another little Hezekiah, another Dinah. Yes. Oh, yes. And right here in Deuteronomy 28th chapter, the 67th verse said, in the morning, thou shalt say with Elohim that it was evening. And at even that we will say with Elohim that it was morning. For the fear of thy heart, wherewith thou shalt fear, for the sight of thine eyes, where thou shalt see. Yes. And when we see these things, brothers and sisters hung, sisters choked, brothers choked on camera. And the other day, it was in some place that these cops made a photo or something of them making fun of choking somebody to death, a young man, murdered a man 3 years ago. And these are the people that wear badges that patrol our neighborhoods. Good gracious of mighty. And the critic said, and he shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way I spoke unto thee, and thou shalt see it no more again, and there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall back you. And yes, so no matter how much money you got, which ain't gonna be worth nothing in a soon coming days or weeks, or maybe a year or two, because the dollar's falling, and you should be investing in gold currency or silver. No man can buy you out of this condition, because this condition wasn't placed on you by a man. The curses of the Most High, this chapter, was put on you, black man and woman, because of your disobedience, because you don't want to listen. You're hard-headed, you're rebellious, you're stiff-necked, and after today, you still won't listen. So the Creator said, I'm going to put curses upon you. They're going to follow you wherever you go. You can't outrun them. You cannot outrun the curses of the mighty Yah. And then, as a result, our land being taken away. Look what the Creator said in the book of Isaiah, the book of Psalms, 83rd chapter. Psalms 83. Yeah, I'm going to show you how Islam and Christianity have destroyed you. And I want any Muslim in the world to call in. Why you all on Facebook at night trying to keep me up? Why you all on Facebook at night, you Christians, two bookers trying to keep me up? Call in. I'm rested up. Got plenty of rest, so call in. Well, let's go to Psalms 83. And a brother Michael Israel asked the other week, he said, who was that in Isaiah the 53rd chapter? A brother asked me the other night, he said, who was that in Isaiah 42nd chapter? I said, first of all, young man, you must understand this before we read Psalm 83rd chapter. We don't have chapters in Hebraic language. We have all one scroll. And when you're reading Isaiah, you're reading a scroll of Isaiah. You have man-made chapters. And you can't read one chapter independently and leave the rest of the chapters out. The Creator told us to study line upon line, doctrine upon doctrine, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little. So if you want to know who the servant is in the book of Isaiah, You got to go line upon line, doctrine upon doctrine, precept upon precept. You want to know who the witness is? Same thing. Who is the elect? Same thing. Who is battle waxing weapon war? Same thing. Who's he speaking about? And all the cases of his servant, witness, the things that I named, he's only speaking about Israel. And I showed the young man because he said, well, Brother Yoel, according to Isaiah, the 42nd chapter, it says, behold, my servant whom I uphold, my elect, and whom my soul delighteth. I have put my spirit upon him, and he shall bring judgment to the Gentiles, to the nations. And it seems as if it's talking about an individual. And I said, no, he's not talking about an individual. It seems Isaiah the 53rd chapter is talking about an individual. No, it's not talking about an individual. Because when you study Torah, when you study the word of Yah, you know when Yah calls Israel his son, that's an individual thought process, right? But he's speaking to a people. He's speaking to a nation. When he said Israel, you go tell Pharaoh, thus said Yah, Israel is my son. He's not talking about one man. He's speaking to a collective group of people. And in the scroll of Isaiah, when he's speaking about the one that he raised up, who his spirit he put into him, his servant, his elect, he Israel. And I told the brother, I said, then go to the 45th chapter, the 4th verse, because then within the confines of that, what they might call that chapter, it lets you know who his elect is. And he told you in Isaiah chapter 45, verse 4, he said, for Yaakov, my servant's sake, and Israel, my elect. I have even surnamed thee, speaking about King Cyrus. I have even called thee by thy name, though you have not known me. So he called Israel his elect, folks. He didn't want to call Israel the apple of his eye. I can go on and on, but you have not yet, my two booker brother and sisters, showed me one scripture. And I don't think I'm asking for too much. They showed me one where he called Yahweh his elect, his servant, his witness. Not one. And make sure I get all the comments. Make sure I get all the comments. All the questions. So anybody have any questions? Any comments? Just let me know. Question me live on air. Let's go back to, pardon me for 1 minute. Hold on 1 minute. Let me step away for 1 minute. Yes, sorry about that. But unfortunately, something happened, something took place, and happened to go off on Facebook. Interesting. It happened to stop. Don't know why, but it was buffering. So if y'all can't get me from Facebook, let me know. But of course, this is on YouTube. This is on YouTube. But nevertheless, let's continue. Let's continue. I want everyone to go to the book of Psalms, the 83rd division. Go to Psalms 83. Psalms 83. And of course, they would think this, of course, the Zuckerbergs would think this is hate speech. Or the enemies would think this is hate speech. No, this is truth. And a lot of people can't handle the truth. And when you go to the book of Psalms, the 83rd chapter, this is truth. Psalms chapter 83. Psalms, the 83rd chapter. We're going to read in verse number 1. It says, keep not thou silence, O Elohim, and hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Elohim. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. And to keep me aware of what's going on. They have taken crafty counsel against our people, and consulted against our hidden ones. They have said, come, these are enemies of the mighty Yah. Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Now, how did they cut us off from being a nation? We got kicked out of our land. Our language was taken away from us. And land is the basis of all freedom. So anytime you're talking about your independence, how you going to be independent without your land, your own government, your own economical, agricultural system of your own money, your own military? How you gonna be free, black man? How you gonna be free? You're not free at all. Free at all. Not free at all. And the critic said in Psalms 83rd chapter, for that they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederated against thee, the tabernacles of Edom. No, not that. The tabernacles of Edom, the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Haganese, Gebal and Ammon, Gebo and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. But this is how we got cut off. They took our name off, took our name away, and the Creator allowed it. He allowed it to take place, folks. So now you Warren Johnson and Richardson and all these other slave masters' names. You wearing the names of your Arabic slave masters. Rashid, Muhammad. And you got to put an X behind your name because that signifies the unknown. You don't know. But my God knows. My Elohim knows. Because he is the one that took your name from you. That's why Malcolm them had to put the X to signify the unknown. Because they didn't know. All they would know, they were reading a book called the Quran, a religious book that was given to slaves to control them. Control their mind. And look how the Muslim mind is controlled today. It controlled to the fact that, as I said, you ask any Muslim brother that if he had a choice to support one of his black African-American brother stores or his white Arabic Muslim brother stores, and they both sold the same products, but the only difference is that one was ran by a black man and one was ran by a white Muslim. Price, everything the same. And it was in the opposite direction from his house that was in the middle. You know who he gonna support? He gonna go support that white Arab, that pale Arab. See how his mind has been controlled? He don't even know who his true brother is. Don't even know, because he's been destroyed. His mind has been destroyed. In Psalms 83rd chapter, within the confines of the chapter, you see the first two nations it mentioned, the Edomites and the Ishmaelites, Esau and Ishmael, a wild man and a man that got to live by his sword. Two nations that were always jealous of you, Israel. They always thought they should have got the birthright. Ishmael, he thought he should have got the covenant through Abraham. He thought the covenant should have went through him, but y'all said no. And y'all let Abraham know it's going to go through Isaac. Your son, I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, not with Ishmael. But Ishmael, I'll make him great. 12 nations shall he begat. But my covenant will I establish with Isaac. And of course, Esau is a man that was sold his birthright to Jacob. He didn't want it. He didn't appreciate the blessing that he could have received. But of course, it was not even ordained for Esau from the womb to be the ruler. It was ordained from the heavens that Yaakov get a blessing. You black man, woman, that's how much mighty Yah loved you. He ordained it from the heavens that you got the blessing. You become his people, his chosen people. They're supposed to teach the world his great laws and commandments. So now let me get into how Islam and Christianity have destroyed you. How these two religions have destroyed your mind. Go with me to the book of Ezekiel, the 20th chapter. Go with me to Ezekiel, the 20th chapter. And I want any Muslim in the world to call in. Go to Ezekiel, the 20th chapter. And we're going to start to show you what took place, what happened in Ezekiel, the 20th chapter. What do you even have these books today? In Ezekiel, the 20th chapter. And we're going to start reading verse number 24. This is what the mighty Yah said. In Ezekiel, the 20th chapter, the 24th verse, it said, because they had not executed my judgments, but had despised my statutes, and have polluted my Sabbaths, and their eyes were after their fathers' idols. Look at this. And their eyes were after their fathers' idols. And the mighty Yah said, wherefore I gave them also statutes that were not good, and judgments whereby they should not live. Now, this is what you have today. You have statutes that are not good, and judgments whereby you can't live by today. If you follow in Islam, you follow the Quran, you follow the New Testament, you cannot live by these statutes. You cannot live by these laws. Just can't, folks. And first, I want to start, before we go to the Quran, because I'm going to start there first. Go to the book of Job, the 9th chapter. Go to the book of Job, the 9th chapter. Job chapter 9. The 24th verse of Job, the 9th chapter. It should read something like, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and he covered the faces of the judges thereof. If this is not the wicked, where and who is he? Where is the wicked? If this is not the wicked that's ruling today, where is he at? Somebody point him out to me. If the United States is not wicked today, somebody point him out to me. I want to know who is wicked. If it's not Russia, China, all these governments are wicked. But you got some that's probably more wicked than other ones. So point them out to me. Point them out to me. But yes, this is wicked. And when Yah handed the earth over to the hand of the wicked, he allowed the wicked to write their own books. But when he did it, he did not allow the wicked to use his name in their books. So they can't claim that Yah said anything because the Father don't speak in the Quran or New Testament. Not one mumbling word in the Quran or the New Testament. Now let's see. Let's see, says the blind man. Let's see some of the laws and statutes in the book called the Quran. My phone is open. You can call this number, 377-5815. It's open. Let's go first to Surah. Let's go to Surah 5. Surah 5. Let's deal with the Quran. Go to Surah 5. Surah 5. We're going to read Iyat 38. It says, as for the thief, male or female, cut off his or her hands as a repayment of what they have committed, a punishment from Allah to be seen for their crime. So in Islam, if you caught stealing, the penalty of that is cut a person's hands off. If a man was hungry, needed something to eat, and he was caught stealing, Now, in the United States, they call you a bunch of refugees if they lay siege on a area, like they did in New Orleans. And all the black men and women they was going in these places down in New Orleans years ago. Some of them coming out with screen TVs. Now I don't know what they're gonna do with a screen TV in a siege. Ain't no power. What you gonna do with a big what our 55-inch screen TV gonna profit you? But this is a matter of a sick people. A sick people. I know if a siege was laid on, I know what I would be doing. And it showed what ain't gonna be looking for no, if I'm out there looking for no screen TVs. But this is what happened. But they call them a bunch of refugees. The ones that were trying to survive and get maybe food to eat or found some clean water to drink. Is this how you treat your citizens of the United States, your American citizens? Yes. Because y'all ain't even worth more, y'all life ain't even worth more than that of a dog. A dog is more valuable than a black male's or woman's life here in America. You can beat it, you can go out there and beat it. You go out there and you think I'm lying, go out there and hit a dog across the head. And see where you not be locked up, 10 police cruisers on your house. You going. Animal rights activists, all out. You going to jail. But beat a black man across the head. Oh, well, it's same as usual. They should be used to that by now, getting cracked across the head with a billy club or getting stoned to death or getting pepper spray. They should be used to that by now. And they even have leaders that tell them to turn the other cheek. Don't fight back. Be nonviolent. Because I have a dream. And that dream, like I said, was America's worst nightmare for the black man. But this is how it is. This is how it is. In Surah 5:38, like I said, they tell the Muslim to cut off a person's hands. And did the Creator tell us that in the Torah? If a person is caught stealing, no, what did he say? You have to know the laws of the Torah. Now, the Quran is supposed to be the Torah written in Arabic language. Now, how is it, my Muslim brother, call in and explain to me, show me this law in the Torah. You know what I'm talking about. Show it to me. Show it to me. Y'all say if you get, there's certain things, if you steal, you got to pay back maybe twice as much. Certain things you pay back 3 or 4 times as much. It all depends on what was stolen. You got to make restitution. Restitution. And if you see when it is, when we have what they call a barter system. And sometimes you steal something, you ain't working, you can't pay something back. You barter. You barter with your brother. Well, you gonna cut my grass every week until you pay that off. That $100 off that you stole from me. And I $20. You would normally charge, or people will pay, you would normally pay people $20, but you're gonna pay. He can work it off. But we don't go cut nobody's hands off. But this Quran said you cut their hands off. Statues that was not good. And judgment, now you made him out to be a perpetual beggar. Now he's out begging, he can't work. Can't support a family if he got a family. But this is the law of the Quran. And my brother said this is the same thing that Moses gave to the Israelites. Are you kidding me, imams? Then let's go. Let's go to Surah 4. Let's go to Surah 4. Let's go to Iyat 34. Surah 4, Iyat 34. Now look what this says. It says, men are the protectors and maintainers of women, because Allah has given the one more, in parentheses, strength than the other, and because they support them from their means. Therefore, the righteous women are devoutly obedient and guard in absence what Allah would have given them to guard. And to those women on whose part you fear disloyalty and ill conduct, caution them or warn them. Refuse to share their beds. And last, because you're an insecure man, beat them. Beat your wife, said the Quran. Now, is this the law of Torah? It said the righteous women are devoutly obedient. So in Islam, as a sister, you better stay obedient unto your man.
Don't act up in front of your man. Don't cuss your man out. Don't give me that finger. Don't give me that hand. You know y'all like to give a hand. Don't give the talk to me tomorrow. Give him the hand and all that stuff you like to do. You Muslim women, your Quran tells you you better be devoutly obedient to your husband. But if he would fear, but to those on whose part you fear disloyalty, he don't have no proof that you've been disloyal. He just one of those jealous suckers that can't sleep or can't work. So ain't nothing like a jealous man. He can't sleep and he can't work. He's always looking out the window. Where's she at? Who's she talking to? Huh? Don't you know what time it is? You would have been back here. Where you been? It don't take you that long to come from work and get home. Well, baby, I got caught up in traffic. He ain't trying to hear you getting caught up in traffic. If you got to run somebody over in the traffic, you get home on time. And I've been knowing men that's jealous, just jealous. And sometimes the spirit of Yah get on, he sent a jealous spirit on him. Ain't nothing that the woman did. Yah, sometimes, according to the Torah, when the spirit of jealousy come upon a man, he got certain instructions to do certain things. Take her before the priest. And the priest would charge her with an oath. And she would have to drink this bitter water. And if she is guilty, her thigh will rot, and her belly will swell, according to Torah law. Because there was no witnesses in the matter to witness against she done committed adultery. So this is what the man did. But if it wasn't nothing that she did, he was just jealous, a spirit was on him, then she's free. She will bear seed. This is what Yah told Israel to do. But the Quran says, beat your wife. Beat your woman. Good gracious almighty. To beat her. Then let's go to Surah 5. Surah 5. And let's read Iyat. We get to Surah 5. Let's go to Surah Iyat 3. It's Surah 5, Iyat 3. Let's see what this says. And I'm waiting on these Muslims to call in. Like I said, they want to bug me all night. Want to keep me up all night. Well, you can call in right now. We can dialogue together in front of the public. Let's go to Surah 5, Iyat 3. And let's see what this says. Surah 5 and Iyat 3. It says, forbidden to you are dead meat, blood. Oh my goodness, blood. Yes, that's good so far. The flesh of swine. That's good. And that which on have been pronounced the name of any other deity. So that's good. I don't see nothing wrong with this. Who want to eat meat with blood running out of it? Who want to eat meat that died of itself? We can't do that. Or on any other name than the deity. And that which has been killed by choking, or by a violent blow, or by a headlong fall, or by being repeatedly stabbed to death. And that which has been partly eaten by a wild animal, unless you are able to slaughter it in due form. And that which is sacrificed on stone altars. Forbidden also is division of meats by turning against a part with arrows. This is impiety. This day, those who reject faith have given up all hope of your religion. Yet do not fear them, but fear me. And this is what the angel Gabriel is telling Muhammad, the message. This day I have perfected you, your religion for you. Notice. Now, did y'all give the children of Israel a religion? No. He gave us culture. He gave us spirituality. He gave us laws, commandments, statutes. He did not give us a religion. All religions are from man. All of them get their origin from man. And right here he said, I perfected you, your religion. We're going to see how we already said that it's not perfect. Even the religion is not perfect, because anything that comes from man is going to be flawed, have holes in it, errors in it, got to do recalls on it. Bring it back. We found out that your gas pump is going to fail. Bring it back, recall. They do recalls every day for cars and everything man get his hands on. Things happen.
And the Creator said, He did not give us a religion. He gave us laws, commandments Himself. But right here it says, I perfected your religion for you, completed my favor upon you, and have chosen Islam as your religion. But if any one is forced by hunger without any wish to disobey, Allah is true, often forgiving, most merciful. So, in other words, if a Muslim gets hungry, he could eat pig. If he gets hungry, he could eat pig. You start back. He can eat pig. And I have Muslim brothers said, no, you are, and I just use this because what he said, you are effing lie, a liar. And I said, brother, first of all, why all the hostility? We can't dialogue with one another like brothers should dialogue with. We can't reason together with one another. We gotta get all irate, all out of character with one another. Brother told me, he said,